It may not seem like much, but it takes only 2 drops of blood to find out what may be floating around in a person's bloodstream. The discovery of L-form bacteria has researchers at Dixie State University's biological laboratory excited.
These are new bacteria, so to date, I believe the number is like over 456 total bacteria.
Unlike classic bacteria, these bacteria have no cell walls and are found roaming freely among red blood cells in wet samples.
So if we see cell wall deficient bacteria that doesn't have a cell wall and it has independent motion on a live slide, then we usually see it grow eventually through our protocol. If we don't see any of that type of movement, we don't ever get any growth.
They often go undetected in a standard blood test because it takes time to grow them out.
And we have to provide all of the nutrients, all of the conditions so that these bacteria can take time to upregulate and generate cell walls. Once they do, we can house them, we can keep them, we can study them, and we can revert them back to the L-form state, which is quite remarkable. And as far as we know, we're the first company that can do that on a regular basis from just 2 drops of blood.
Under the direction of soft cell biological research founder Brent Hunt, students at DSU have taken over 700 samples like this in the last 2.5 years. Hunt said most bacteria come from nature. However, foreign bacteria can become a major invading problem.
Your body's more than likely able to control those, but when you pick up a foreign invader, your body has no way to recognize what that is. It has no idea of how to treat that. And that's when it begins to host, and we think that's where really this begins to be a problem.
Recently isolating and relaying information to her doctor to solve one woman's bacteria-related problem, Hunt said now her friend is showing signs of fibromyalgia.
From her blood, we isolated a bacteria called V. maris that only has been isolated in the deep sea of Japan. And we also isolated Domibacillus indicus. That's only been isolated in a shallow sea lake on the offshore of India. Those are sedimentary bacteria. Those are not supposed to be circulating in people's blood. And, you know, not all bacteria in your blood are going to be negative, but we feel like this one certainly is.
Hunt believes autoimmune diseases and possibly even cancer might be caused by undetected bacteria in the bloodstream. And interestingly enough, Hunt said of 4 people they tested that were on chemotherapy, they found no L-form bacteria at all.
We couldn't find any, we couldn't culture any. So in a lot of ways, we feel like chemotherapy may be one of the first L-form antibiotics. Now, whether that's a direct effect or a side effect from chemotherapy, we don't know that. This is early science.
Currently funded by Hunt, his wife, and Dixie State University, the Soft Cell Biological Research Lab uses students to help with the new science.
These students have probably some of the best ideas, the most open minds, and that's really what this is about. It's new science. Why wouldn't it be advanced by new minds?
Hunt said Soft Cell has already filed 5 patents and is working on expanding the lab to include more studies and possibly even cures.
This lab is bursting at the seams. We are going to start studying the biochemistry of these bacteria, and we feel like we can directly relate the toxins they produce to health consequences.
Because some of the bacteria actually metabolize red blood cells or even other bad bacteria, he said they are hoping to someday come up with new antibiotics made from the bacteria themselves, or even proteins that might block the foreign invaders.
And so we're working with major drug companies right now to develop these bacteria. We feel like this will be our first real product that we produce from this lab, is some of the new antibiotics that not only treat classic form bacteria, but treat the bacteria that live within your body, within your circulatory system, and within your cells.
Other bacteria can cause low-grade infections that continue to adapt and become antibiotic resistant. Hunt, who began these blood tests as a result of his own problems, still searches for answers within himself.
And I have a low-grade sepsis in my knee. It's not detectable by blood labs. Blood bottles have never cultured this out, but I carry 3 acinetobacteria. Those are on the CDC list. And when I say 3, those are 3 new bacteria to science.
Despite some fears of spreading, Hunt said most of the tests show couples don't exchange the bacteria, although it's unknown why.
This doesn't pass from person to person easily, and we've proven that out through couples collection. So anytime someone comes in to collect, usually there's a spouse with them. That spouse didn't think they were coming to give blood, but they are.
And he said for those who still don't believe, he challenges them to come into their world and see for themselves.
We'll show you. When you walk out, you'll know that what we're onto is going to help humanity.
From Dixie State University, Melissa Anderson, CEC News.